Hi guys, it's Matthew here. Welcome back to another video on my channel today. And in today's video, guys, I know I said I would rank the Phantasm franchise next, but I ended up finishing up another horror franchise that I should be doing a ranking on because it's October, and that is my ranking. My camera froze there for a second. Of all four movies in the Twisted Childhood universe that we have gotten so far. So, for those of you that are not aware of this universe, they actually have been taking beloved Disney characters and turning them into childhood nightmares. And we recently, so we had two Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movies, then we had a Peter Pan and a Bambi horror movie, and as of right now they're working on a Pinocchio horror movie, which is the one that I was the most interested in out of all of these, as a matter of fact. So as of right now, we just have the four movies. We actually have two more on the way because I just said we have the Pinocchio Unstrung movie coming out. And Jiminy Cricket is going to be voiced by Robert Englund, the same guy that plays Freddy Krueger. And then also we have a movie called The Pooniverse Monsters Assemble, where we're going to see like all of these guys come together, as a matter of fact. But so yeah, guys, that with all that out of the way, guys, be sure you hit that like button as well as that red subscribe button. But most importantly, make sure you press that notification bell so you don't miss anything in the future. And those of you guys that are new to the channel, I do more than just movies. I also play video games. I do Lego related stuff, and I do haul and unboxing videos. I do all sorts of stuff like that here on the channel. So if you guys like to watch anything like that on YouTube and want to share your support, be sure to go check out my channel because there'll definitely be something in there for you to enjoy. But with all that being said though, guys, enjoy the video. Let's get started here. Alright, so for me, coming in last place at number 4 is going to be Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. So with this one, if you guys did see my monthly video on what I watched in the month of September, you guys might remember that I watched this movie last month, and this is actually the only movie so far in this universe that I don't really particularly care for, because this movie, this was the first one to not be a Winnie the Pooh horror movie, and I stated the thing I liked about Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey is that they took the original story of Winnie the Pooh that was made by Disney, and then they put a horror skin around it. That's what it felt like to me. But then the Peter Pan movie didn't feel like that at all. So basically, the whole movie is that there's this guy that acts like a clown, and well, he's not dressed like a clown, but he acts like a clown of some sort. And then all he said, and he's just obsessed with Neverland, and he kidnaps kids for whatever reason, and it doesn't really make like a whole lot of sense on what's going on in this movie. But that's just me personally. But yeah, so it did so. Yeah, so basically he like lives in like this old abandoned house, and then he kidnaps children, and the whole movie is about Wendy trying to rescue her brother Michael, why her brother John stays behind. And then also Tinkerbell in this movie is like a full grown adult human being. And I'm sitting here going like, why did you make her like that? And there's not really like any origin on Tinkerbell on why she's such a full grown adult human, as a matter of fact. And yeah, this doesn't really feel like the two Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movies. That's what yeah, I expect it felt like with the Winnie the Pooh movies, they took the original story and then put a horse skin around it. But with this movie, it didn't feel like it did. It kind of felt like they made up their own little horror story about Peter Pan, and then try to put an origin around it, but by it being based off of the beloved Disney movie, as a matter of fact. And yeah, this is not like this is not that good of a movie, or well, none of these movies are necessarily like a great or anything, but they are enjoyable. But this one, but this is the only one out of all four of these that I did not really enjoy. So this is easily the worst one for me. At number 3, I'm going with the first Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. So a lot of people would actually say that this is the worst out of the four, but I'm trying to give this movie some praise, because I know a lot of people did not care for this movie back when it came out, and a lot of people said the second one was better, but for me, I got a lot of pleasure out of this movie. And this movie was made on a budget. I think the budget for this movie was like $100,000. And honestly, I think they did a pretty good job. The only reason on why this movie is this low on the list is probably because the special effects are a little bit cheap, as a matter of fact, because this movie was made on a micro budget, so it's not so you're not like so this movie was made on like a micro budget, so this movie is not going to be perfected or look good exactly, but yeah, so this is the very first movie that came out that was in the Twisted Childhood universe, and honestly, I think this movie was pretty good. I had a lot of dumb fun with it. I think the guy that played Winnie the Pooh did a pretty good job, and same thing with the guy that played Piglet, as a matter of fact. But yeah, this movie's good overall. Not as good as the top two though, so that's why it ends up in third place for me. Up next at number 2, my runner-up is going to be Bambi: The Reckoning. So this is why I did this list, because I just recently watched Bambi: The Reckoning recently, and when I watched Peter Pan Neverland's Nightmare, the only one I had to watch was Bambi: The Reckoning, and I finally watched it. And honestly, aside from the Winnie the Pooh movies, this movie is better than Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, and I wanted this movie to be better than Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, because like I said, the I'm going to say it again, with the Winnie the Pooh horror movie, it felt like they took the original movie and they took the original story and put like a horse skin around it. And the Peter Pan one did not feel like that at all. But with Bambi, it definitely felt like they took the original story and then put a horse skin around it. So obviously, with all four of these movies so far, we always get like an animation opening explaining the origin story. So we all know the dark and depressing moment with Bambi. He loses his mom by getting shot by a hunter. but then but then he makes love, and they have a baby together. But then what happens is that there's this other guy that runs over Bambi's mother and his baby that's called a fawn. That's the scientific term for a baby deer. He gets captured by some hunters, and then the guy that ran over his lover, he pours some like mutated like substances of some sort on the road, and then Bambi drinks it, and then he gets mutated into this man-eating reckoning that he is. And so yes, the family in this movie that we get introduced to his mom, we get introduced to this mom and his son, and they're going to their family's house for Thanksgiving dinner. And we meet these characters. There's a bunch of interesting characters in this movie, but since they're all the way out in the woods, Bambi hunts and taunts them, and honestly, I like that concept because they took they explained the origin story, and then they put the horse skin around it because Bambi loses his lover, his baby gets captured, and then he gets mutated, and his whole motivation is he's trying to get his son back, and he kills a bunch of people. And honestly, this is a good movie overall. This is a very entertaining movie as well. And yes, aside from my number one, this is probably the best movie in this universe so far. And honestly, I cannot wait to see Bambi again in this universe, because that's when they're making the Poohniverse movie, and that's where Bambi is gonna be next in this universe. But for me, easily coming in the first place is going to be Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2. Boy, this movie is probably the most enjoyable out of all of them. And yes, this is the most dumb fun that out of this universe, because for me this is easily the most entertaining. We get Winnie the Pooh and Piglet back, and then we also get Owl and Tigger thrown in the mix here. And honestly, Tigger is probably the best character out of the four in this movie. And I think there was a Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 3 that was announced, so I can't wait to see that. So that technically makes it 3 movies that we have coming as well. And the only downside that I would say for this movie is that they didn't really pick it up where the first one left off. So basically, it doesn't really matter with the two Winnie the Pooh movies on which one you watch first, because they're kind of like their own standalone separate little islands as well. And with Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2, I actually had this as an honorable mention last year for 2024, and honestly, this movie deserves a little bit of praise because with the first Winnie the Pooh movie making a lot of money at the box office, they were able to increase the budget on this movie and make it a little bit bigger by actually using practical effects and better CGI and stuff like that, and special effects as well. And they were able to like up the violence, the action, and the blood in this movie. And so far in the Twisted Childhood universe, this is the most entertaining and this is the one that comes first place in my ranking. So there you have it, guys. There's my ranking of all 4 movies in the Twisted Childhood universe so far, as a matter of fact. Like I said, we have 3 more on the way, because we have a Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 3 that was announced. We have the Pinocchio Unstrung movie coming out, and then finally we have the Poohniverse Monsters Assemble coming as well. And I cannot wait to see all 3 of those movies, and once we get those 3 movies, I will be doing another ranking once all 3 of those movies have released. But since we already gotten 4 of them, I thought it might be a good idea to put out a ranking, and then once we get the rest of them, I will do a ranking with all the other ones that we have not gotten yet, as a matter of fact. But anyway, guys, that is going to wrap up this video, as a matter of fact. Be sure you hit that like button as well as that red subscribe button, but most importantly, make sure you press that notification bell so you don't miss anything in the future. But without any further ado, I'm going to go get bringing you guys more videos, because more videos are on the way sooner rather than later, as a matter of fact, guys. But with all that being said, though, guys, take care, drink water, and stay safe, and I will see you all in the very next video. Bye!